Welcome, Planeteers. Seeing the human growth and wonders of its intelligence is just mesmerizing, isn't it? We developed flight, like the first flight took place in 1905, which was the first human flight, and in only 120 years, we are about to colonize Mars. And we will soon be able to develop artificial intelligence and change this world forever. Okay, it may take some time 100 years, 1000 years, even 10,000 years but we will be able to develop an artificial intelligence that will be capable of at least replicating everything that the human mind can do. It is then easier to give it a physical body and limbs and so on, and this will then be an entirely new species capable of taking its own decisions and even reproducing, albeit in a factory. For them, we will be their creators, and they may even consider us as gods. But are we gods? And if we human can build an intelligent species, is it not possible that the same might have happened to us? And for this very reason, I believe that our body may be earthly like any other species, but our intelligence is not from Earth, it's extraterrestrial. Why do I say this? Because look around, and there is only one human species that have this level of intelligence, and why has no other species developed it? I mean, if cheetah is the fastest land animal at 61 miles per hour, which is its defining characteristics. The pronghorn is the second fastest at 60 miles per hour and only 1 mile per hour behind it, and I mean for the fastest land animal. The difference is not that staggering as compared to difference in levels of intelligence between humans and other species, which then compared in these terms would be 61 miles per hour and probably 6 nanometers per hour. No other species is even remotely capable of doing what we humans can and have. They have developed a language, developed a culture. We teach, tell stories, trade. We have morals, laws. We contemplate the stars, our place in the cosmos, life's meaning, what follows death. The details of our tools, fashions, families, morals, and mythologies vary from tribe to tribe and culture to culture, but all living humans show these behaviors. Which other species has the power to move mountains, link oceans, escape Earth? Which other species has ever tamed and kept the other species as its pet and made it do its work? Which other species has transformed the natural jungles to a concrete jungle, changing the face of the planet? And why does only one species does this in the natural habitat of the earth? I mean, who is not comfortable living in the natural habitat of the earth and has developed cities for itself and only itself, useless for any other species, who only survive in their natural habitat, which is the natural habitat or the ecosystem of the earth. Do you see the clear distinction of the way of living of one species versus all others? Why is there this distinction? Why only one species get this intelligence? Why did only humans get this intelligence? If you say that this is how evolution worked, and then why didn't evolution and then intelligence branch into any other species? The bonobos and the chimps have 99.6% of the same genome as the humans. Then why don't they have proportionally the same level of intelligence? Or even a fraction of it? Or even accomplish a minuscule amount of what humans have? Why only the part where intelligence was to be shared was left out? Also, you go to Darwin's theory of evolution or any other theory for that matter, none of them can actually trace back and provide the correct timeline or the reason behind human intelligence. What you will only get is hypothesis but nothing concrete. I mean, we are more certain about the extinct dinosaurs that happened millions of years ago than our evidence of intelligence, which only dates back 70,000 years. We know more of the planet and the space than our very own brain. We have the same developed modern brain for 300,000 years and yet showed no signs of any modern behavior for 230,000 years of it. But something switched 70,000 years ago where all these humanly behaviors started happening and we started moving out and developed our own world. So much so that despite being physically weak and be almost be defeated by a dog, we yet have tamed the biggest, the most dangerous, and the most poisonous creatures. So much so that we can make them jump in circuses at our fingertips. We clearly, subconsciously differentiate between us and the other species. Firstly, we cannot stand most of our other species in any situations around us, no matter what, be it a cockroach, a lizard, or even an ant for that matter. Do you think a lion in the jungle is bothered by a cockroach in its periphery? I don't think so. And the very few that we have allowed us in our ecosystem, we have still have boundaries with them. Will you share the same piece of meat that your dog has licked or had a bite of? No, I don't. I know you won't, and even I won't, because something inside you would stop you. Would the same piece of meat make any difference to the lion or any other animal in the jungle? Probably not. You see my point? Despite not being physically the strongest, we have somehow broke gravitational pull, controlled the power of thunder and lightning, and guided them through our wires, replicated the power of sun, manipulated it to our requirements, cut mountains, bent rivers, linked oceans, built sound in a race plenty times over. Does this not all sound like humans are God on this planet? I mean, if you define God and start to say miracles about God, you say like a certain one can walk on water or something like that. Here, we can transcend oceans and that to underneath it, and you won't know where we are. Even gods would not have all these powers, and yet we fight and strive for a place in his so called heaven. Why don't we just realize the fact that if we just look around, we are gods here, and let's make this planet our heaven. Live long and prosper.